Hi, Mark. Welcome to If Innovation Could Talk.
Hi, Eva. Thanks very much for having me on today.
Pleasure. Now, Mark, you have a really interesting background because you have worked as a hedge fund manager after you graduated with an engineering degree, and you did that in New York. And since then, you've also been heavily involved in various startups. Now, tell us, as an engineer and an entrepreneur, what does innovation mean to you?
To me, it's always meant really imagining the future and then using or developing technology to make that future happen. So I've always, I guess, seen that innovation as kind of iterative, but also seeing the way things should be. And then if you can see the way things should be, you see that there's something missing from the market or what people have the opportunity to get. And then you can fill in the gaps either with existing technology or you need to see what technology needs to develop in order to create.
Now, tell us then about your latest venture, your new company called Sustainable Platform.
So Sustainable Platform provides an independent assessment on how sustainable companies are by looking primarily at what the company does as well as how it operates. But we take annual reports and we take other independent data from companies and publicly available information, and then we report to investors on how sustainable those companies are, so that they can provide their investors or members or clients with a way to invest that aligns with their values from an environmental or social point of view.
And where would you say Sustainable Platform makes the greatest impact?
So I'd say because we've developed a way to measure company sustainability level across the board, so we're using the UN definition of sustainable development, we're actually helping companies to invest in food, health, energy, water, transport, all those types of basic needs or necessities. And that really cuts across both the social and the environmental impact of how companies are operating. And then I think the other thing that we're doing is we're connecting the investment money with the social or environmental impact to provide more transparency. The other thing that we're doing through that is really providing a risk management tool for investors to see what they're exposed to from a sustainability risk point of view. So we're helping investors to understand that and providing the metrics that are allowing them to make those decisions that are in both their financial interests, but also in the interests of society and their children as well.
This sounds like both a powerful as well as unique business. And who would you regard as your greatest competitors?
But we're unique in the way we do it, and I guess also our methodology and approach, and also the results. I'd say our competitors are large, mostly, well, either European or American firms, or multi-billion-dollar firms like MSCI, Sustainalytics, which is owned by Morningstar, ISS, which is recently bought by a stock exchange. So very large institutional research houses. And then there are other groups that have always been, if you think about anybody or any company in the financial services sector, they're starting to get into this, what they call ESG investment area as well. So that might be S&P or Bloomberg, other financial service data providers.
How does it feel to be a company that's founded in Perth? And some say Perth is the most remote city on earth. And to be able to have a business that has got that sort of impact and to be able to call those big names your competitors.
There is really close to no financial services industry in Western Australia. But what it allowed us to do is to really view the market in a completely different way and independently of whatever trends or what was going on at the time in these financial services markets. So we came up with a product that that funds really needed, but they'd never seen anything like this before. So I don't think we could have done that anywhere else except from a remote place, but it does make it very challenging in terms of the marketing opportunities. So I did some extensive travel a few years ago, but these days with Zoom, it's much nicer.
What is one advice you would give to yourself if you could do anything differently? And would you mind sharing that with If Innovation Could Talk?
The advice would be really to try to stick to your core offering as early as possible. It's very easy to chase different sources of revenue. So I'd probably just advise myself to try selling earlier the real core fundamental part of the product.
That's a very good one because it reminded me of an earlier interview with Patrick Lee, the founding CEO of Rotten Tomatoes. And he has said several times that he encourages all startups or companies starting out to have laser sharp focus, because by nature of being an entrepreneur, you feel that you can do anything and everything. And so it really comes down to focusing on what are your core values and offerings. So thank you so much for reinforcing that message and sharing that with us. Really appreciate your time, Mark.